by far the most important video I've ever made. Right now, I'm standing in Cerro Gordo's backyard of Conglomerate Mesa. And if you've watched this channel over the last 18 months, you know how much history and beauty are in these hills around Cerro Gordo. But unfortunately, everything you see behind me in the future of Cerro Gordo might go away. But the good news is we can do something about it. And that's what this video is all about. Hello everyone. As many of you know, my name is Brent. Right now I am sitting in Cerro Gordo, an abandoned mining town from the 1800s. And I've been living up here for the past 18 months, restoring buildings and trying to preserve history. You know, my goal from day one here is to try to understand the history of this town, how it fits in with the larger history around it, and relay those findings on this channel. And over the past 18 months, a lot of you expressed that you love the history and the natural beauty of the surrounding area of Cerro Gordo. And unfortunately right now, both of those things are under attack. That's because K2 Gold, an international mining company, has put an option on hundreds of acres of claims surrounding Cerro Gordo, including some of the most historic mines, structures, and artifacts of Cerro Gordo's history. And their hope is to create an open pit heap cyanide mine as part of their larger project over in Conglomerate Mesa, a conservatory area that's supposed to be protected. It's tens of thousands of acres of just beautiful scenery. You know, usually on this channel, my hope is just to provide a break from the stressors and chaos of everyday life, you know, to kind of take a step back in time and learn something. And I don't like making videos like this, but how can I say that I love history and stand by and watch history be destroyed at my front doorstep? You know, how can I say that I love nature and taking hikes when there's a threat of an open pit cyanide mine less than 2 miles from here? You know, I can't. And so I hope if you've ever gotten anything out of this channel about my time here, that you watch this video with me. Welcome to the area just before Conglomerate Mesa. So right now, we would be in an area that would be mined. So just to try to give it its perspective, this is thousands of acres, just like this, that they want to mine. It includes those peaks over there, and a huge area of land around here, but it's getting taken down to nothing. And if you live in America, this is land that you pay for with your tax dollars, minerals that you own as much as the next American. So how can some international company come in and mine land that they don't own, you know, and then not be responsible for paying any royalties at all? Well, that's thanks to the Mining Act of 1872. It's made 150 years ago to help settle the West at a time that hard rock mining was pickaxe and shovels. You know, it allows people and private companies to stake claims on public lands and develop minerals there if they can prove minerals exist. And the fact that a law passed in 1872 still governs mining is insane. You know, the fact that the public gets no return and an international company can come in, strip an area of its resources, leave, and not give taxpayers a dime is insane. So this is one of the historic mines that K2 wants to turn into an open pit. We're at the Morning Star mine. That's very historic. It's connected to Cerro Gordo over there. And it was even large enough in its own day to have its own aerial tramway that connected to the Cerro Gordo tramway further down. And this mine was massive. You know, you can see a portal here. There's a portal down the hill there. And there's so much history in these buildings, in this hill, inside of these mines. There's miles of mines behind this door. And it's all going to be lost. Welcome to the Ignacio mine area. And this area is right next to town. If you look up there, you can even see a car entering the town right now. Cerro Gordo Ghost Town is just above that peak right there where all the buildings are. And this Ignacio mine was huge back in the day. As you can see up there, there's all sorts of portals, tailing piles, structures. There's stone cribbing here from the 1800s. There's stone cribbing all around this place that shows, where people used to live and work. And right there is the Cerro Gordo Road. And if you ever had hopes of visiting Cerro Gordo in the future, can you imagine this being an open pit mine and their heavy trucks going up and down Cerro Gordo Road all day long? You're not going to be able to visit. There's not going to be enough room on the road. So the Ignacio mine where I just was is down there. You can see some of the mines and some of the roads leading into it. Now, as you can see, I am above Cerro Gordo, which you can see right below. And this is a historic claim called the Hart Camp, where Percy Hart made a claim with a mine just above here. And it would destroy everything, not just I've worked for, but everything thousands of volunteers and patrons and supporters over the year have tried to protect. So a bit more context of how we got here and why now. And when I bought Cerro Gordo, I bought it from the son of a guy who, with him and his wife, they had spent their life trying to restore this town and protect this town and preserve this history that is just seeping out of every corner of Cerro Gordo. And as part of that protection plan, they acquired hundreds of acres of mining claims surrounding the town. So that way, nobody can intrude upon them, and they can make sure that this piece of American history is safe. And after buying it, and with the conversations with the seller, it was always promised that, these claims would eventually go to us when the time came. Unfortunately, that was not the case. These claims were put under option, sold to K2 Mining, a mining operation out of Canada, as part of their larger conglomerate Mesa project. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that somebody that was so passionate or was related to somebody so passionate about preserving the history here would literally put the town at its biggest risk it's been at in centuries. So if you guys have watched this channel, if you've ever gotten anything out of what I've been putting out about Cerro Gordo and the history here, I urge you, I beg you, I plead you, please leave a comment with the BLM. Right now it's the opportunity for the public to weigh in on this project, and I would love for everybody watching this video to weigh in and voice their strong opposition to K2 Mining, their strong opposition to Mojave Precious Metals, their other name, and everything that they're trying to do around these hills. This isn't a thing that you can sit back and wait on. The time for public comments ends at the end of August. There's less than 2 weeks for these comments to get in. But what we do now, right now, will literally echo for history. If K2 Gold has their way, this mountain in front of me, this mountain behind me will be gone. Your children, their children's children will come here and look at a pit that could have been avoided. This area is the ancestral home of the Shoshone, the Paiute, the Timbisha tribes. There's history here that when lost is never going to come back. It's not like we're replacing it with something people are going to want to come see in the future. I don't know if you guys know how open pit mining works, but this hill is going to be taken down truckload by truckload. It's going to create a pile. This pile is going to have cyanide poured on top of it. And reminder, cyanide is what killed 900 people at Jonestown. A tablespoon of cyanide will kill you. And so they're going to create a big pile of rock. They're going to pour cyanide on top of it. The cyanide will attach to the dirt-sized flecks of gold that are in here that you can't see, and it will leach it to the bottom, and from there it'll be siphoned off and sold overseas so that the CEO of K2 Gold can have a new addition on his house in the Philippines. So to give you an idea of the size of a smaller open pit mine. I'm here at one now. As you can see, absolutely nothing is left. Once you get in that pit, there's no vegetation. There's no nothing. It's just, you can see the different layers on the mountain where they just literally took the entire mountain away. Not quite as romantic as a abandoned tunnel town like Cerro Gordo, is it? You can see where the peak used to be. Look at this, hundreds of feet of drop. Just devastation. You know, ever since K2 mining came to Lone Pine and to Inyo County, they have been giving donations to anybody that can take them. Anybody and everybody. A lot of people refuse them because they don't want to be in bed with the International Mining Company. But when Steve, the CEO of K2, heard that this video was coming out, I got relayed a message that he was unaware of what I was trying to do up here, was a big supporter of it, and would be willing to give a donation. Interesting timing to make a donation to a ghost town is, a couple of days before a guy puts out a video against your project. Nothing about this mining is romantic. Nothing about this is in the spirit of the American West. You know, people often say, hey, Brent, if you love Cerro Gordo because you love the history of mining, so why are you against mining these days? Because this is nothing like mining in the past. And people can love the history of World War II without wanting another world war. You know, I have grown to just be enamored with the history of Cerro Gordo, its impacts, and what's done right and what's done wrong. And oftentimes when you're thinking about what is done wrong, you try to give it the benefit of the doubt, because this was the 1800s. You know, this was 150 years ago. They didn't know better in a lot of the cases. But the excuse is out the window. This is 2020. We know better. There's no individual prospector hiking the hills for days, coming across the heavy rock, literally staking his claim and making something out of that. This isn't about that. This is about K2 Gold making a profit and not giving a shit about what they leave behind. This is my home. You know, this is a feeling I haven't felt in my whole life. Just walking these hills brings a sense of peace I haven't felt anywhere else. There's this magic up here that anybody that's visited can attest to. Just the sunsets and the stillness and this hidden history tucked around every corner. It fills me with wonder, and a sense of excitement for the future. It feels like a town being reborn. The opposite of destruction that seems to just dominate the news. And being here allows me to broadcast those feelings to millions of people around the world, who can share in the escape, the peace, and that excitement of something new. And being here draws me so much closer to history. Every day I am forced to reflect on history and understand how the actions of the past have consequences, not just today, but deep into the future. That's why such short-term minded thinking, like an open pit cyanide mine on these beautiful hills, hits me harder than I ever did before. When I get images of an excavator driving over Joshua trees or destroying a stone cabin in the 1800s, it keeps me up. It's why I haven't been able to sleep in 4 days. My home, that sense of peace and that wonder, is just now filled with dread. And for what? So a mining company can make more money and leave behind a scar that will last generations to come? It gives me secondhand embarrassment, that such acts are even considered these days. An act that our generation will look back on with shame. This is my home, somewhere I can't wait to open up to thousands of people per year to come and have that opportunity to experience the wonder, the excitement, the stillness, that rebirth, and just get away from it all, just even for a moment, to walk these hills and feel recharged and refreshed. But all that is destroyed if K2 has their way, and we can't stand by and let that happen. So I hope out there, if you appreciate history, if you appreciate what I've been trying to do up here, what I've been putting out on this channel, then I hope you'll just take a minute and leave a comment to the BLM. Let them know how important historic sites are for you. Let them know how important wilderness recreation areas are for you. Leave a comment for K2. Let them know how their actions are affecting literally millions of people all around the world. People that they'll never see or care about. And so I thank you guys all so much for watching this video. As always, down below in the description, there's a lot of links. These links go through action items and how you could help with this. And my hope is that we can stop this. And Cerro Gordo has a chance to be here for many generations to come, to learn from it and experience the beauty here for themselves. So thank you all. I will get back to regular programming soon, but I just don't stand up for what you believe in, then what are you doing, right? So thank you guys.